Okay, so now you guys just missed the funny part. The funny part of this is we've got like 40 seconds left before we go live, and Red just all of a sudden realizes, oh shit, I don't have a cutter. And so she gets up, she goes, and I'm like, you got 25 seconds. And so we get to 10 seconds down, and I hit the countdown, I hit the go live, and she saves the day.
I made it. I just grabbed my look my table. I
You
was
grabbed the go-to.
yes, I grabbed the go-to. And then like I'm sitting here and I was like, I don't have napkins. Like I'm just like not prepared. But anyway, who cares about that? I want to say happy birthday to you. I should do my like this iPad's about to fall. So I should do my Marilyn Monroe happy birthday to
Please,
you.
please do, because it was so funny. We were talking, so a good friend of mine, she took me and the kids out to happy hour at Thirsty Lion, and we're talking to one of the food servers about the birthday, and he goes, "Well, we can't do the birthday song," and I said, "Well, if you could get all of the women out here to sing the Marilyn Monroe's version of Happy Birthday," and of course he said, "Oh man, that would be awesome," and the girls said, "Yeah, no." And I'm like, what? I'm single.
You can have it. Why
I can
not?
I can enjoy it.
Yeah. I don't know if like I'm sitting here trying to take a beautiful picture of my food because now I've like realized I was like, oh look, I got it this way. So I don't know if it sounds like her because she's very very breathy. You know.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll give it a go. And like and shoot, I haven't done this in forever. I don't know when's the last time I sang it. Like wow. So we'll see. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday
uh,
to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Greybeard. Happy birthday to you.
now I don't know what if it was what it was, but we went from 3 viewers to 1 viewer during that time.
Oh wow! Where is the love? Oh my goodness!
I
Yes,
I am
man.
telling you they logged in. It's like oh like what Bert says. Oh my God, what am I coming into?
Yes, we
Anyways,
had to fun. That
anyways,
was beautiful.
I loved it.
He loved it.
Thank you, and welcome to the Twisted Pair. I mean, if that wasn't twisted, I don't know what is. I'm Greybeard, and as you know, this is a special one for me because today happens to be my birthday, and I am joined by the absolutely the one, the only, the spectacular,
Oh
the
wow!
Marilyn Monroe uh,
Cigar.
impressionist above all, Ashfred.
Say hello. Here's my beautiful.
Elbow, elbow, wrist,
This is
wrist.
Chris.
I remember this from teaching my daughter when she was in cheerleading.
Yeah, elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist, wrist. So now that we have welcomed, today is a special occasion, and I'm seeing this mosquito like buzz around, and I'm like, back off the bench. So, do you want me to show first since you have a special like? And here's my thing. I think it's funny that some people are trying to guess what you're smoking, and whoa, whoa, whoa. See, look, it never felt. So I think it's funny. So I don't know if you want to go first or do you want me to
No,
share?
no, you go first. You go
Okay.
first, and I'll finish up.
And y'all know that like I'm still getting used to the iPad and where everything is. And I came outside because it is a gorgeous day out, and I've been trapped up in an office. Like I was at work till 10:30 last night. So I was just like done and over it, and I was like, I need to be outside. I need some fresh breath. So if I don't get eaten alive by mosquitoes, I'm hoping to survive. So here is my beautiful. Oh look, okay, look, see y'all. You can't laugh at me. So what I
Love it.
have over here, can you see?
Yep.
So I have my beautiful mac and cheese lobster. I have my steak. I have my baked potato with everything on it, and of course, like see, look at this, a red meat
The
lover
red
because
meat lovers.
It's just like goes so yummy with steak. I can't argue.
Which is such a classic, and I almost went with it, and Bird is saying the Tabernacle because he knows, I mean he knows me and he knows that how that is my, one of my absolute favorite cigars. And sorry, Bert, you're wrong. Um, but so we had first started talking about this. I was talking about cheese, and so yes, I went out and got this really nice, beautiful blue cheese here. And
Yeah.
then while I'm at Thirsty Lion, I went ahead and had them cook me up a prime rib. Now, you didn't mention your drink, so I'm not going to give you the chance, and I'm just going to jump right in here.
Okay.
I bought these bottles. I bought two of these um, about a year and a half, maybe almost 2 years ago.
Mhm.
And when I bought them, I got them at the Wine Society's discount price of $79 a bottle, and
Mhm.
they were retailing for around 90 to 100. And they have since gone up to about 110, 120. But this is Quill Mountain's 2011 Cab Sav.
Whoop whoop whoop
So
whoop. It even looks pretty.
I've got a nice, beautiful, hearty, meaty steak. I've got a nice, hearty, you know, bold cheese. I've got a bold wine. And I thought about it's like, I'm wanting to do something that is full intensity on flavors, but just counters all of that.
Mhm.
And so I decided to go with something a little bit more floral and a little bit more herbaceous. And so I'm going with the Opus X Desario, and this is their torpedo Churchill in length.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can see it comes to a torpedo, and it actually came to a tip, almost to the
Mhm.
point of a bellicoso, but it doesn't taper down
Uh huh.
here. But so I'm going with a full contrast of the cigar and everything else.
Well, I sent you a picture of my wine. So
Yes, you did.
I went to go get my wine today. And I'm getting out of the back of the truck, and I guess I drove like a bat out of hell. Well, I'm going to blame it on the traffic. And it rolled over because, I had it in the back seat. So, like, so I'm having a Unani. And so this is from Rudolph Opie Sadler. He's a master winemaker, red wine, and it's from Moscato Vineyards. And the thing is like I wanted something a Malbec. I wanted wine from Argentina because we've never featured a wine from Argentina.
I don't think we have.
And so I've heard it. I've really wanted one because one of our dear good friends, Jimmy, when I went to go stay with him, he said his wife liked Argentine wine. So I was like, okay, I can give her some of that. And that was like one thing she wanted. And I was like, you know what? I've never had it. I didn't try it when I was there because, I had other stuff. And so I'm super excited to try it to see how it is because I've never had it. But like, let's see. Do you see how this said? Can you see how dark red it is?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this baby right here.
Yeah. So, and don't worry, I put it through my beautiful screaming thing.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
you, you did some variation.
Yes, and the main reason I did it is like I always do it with my wine, but I did it because I did not want to get any glass since I broke the neck.
So my son-in-law, he's standing at the kitchen counter and he's looking at this. Is like, this is looking pretty cool, Dad. And he didn't realize that it had been open and the cork was pulling out. And he's sitting there trying to get around and looking off something. He gargles it and he almost drops it. It's like, oh, it's open. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it's got to breathe. See, I didn't have to open mine to breathe. It would like it like jumped out of the truck and was ready to go.
It's almost like you sabered it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I did. Just I just keep sabers around my house because they're cool.
All right,
So,
smartass.
of course. So, I'm ready to begin.
Well, I mean, I don't know what's holding you back. I've already lit mine up,
I'm
and
like trying to get like shoe fly pie and apple bandowdy.
I
Oh,
want to know if any of our guests decided to step up. Oh, you've got a pigtail.
so pigtail, which
How are
you don't
you?
see often on a box cut. I'm just saying that.
How are you cutting it?
V. I'm doing a deep V.
A deep V. Okay.
Yeah, because I have two choices here. So I have two. And I know I have a lighter and it's somewhere. I'm like being attacked. If y'all see me like jerking stuff, I apologize. And like people are going to come in and they're like, we are never going to watch that show again because that ash red was like crazy. I know I have a lighter somewhere. I'm just trying to look, it's on the other side. So I'll be right back.
Here.
Oh,
You can.
oh, thanks.
You're welcome. Can't you get it?
I
Come
know.
on.
If I didn't have T-Rex arms, I so should have like would have been able to get it.
I
And
I I think we're lacking in technology. I mean, I should be able to say, Scotty, beam this over to her.
I know, and it should work. What the heck?
Come on, they did it in Star Trek. I mean,
I know, like all the time. Especially if you were able to get out of the sticky situation.
oh, and my kids are gonna kill me because I didn't. So my kids got me for Christmas. They got me this beautiful little cheese board, and I forgot about it, and it's in my room. And they're gonna kill me because they wanted me to switch over from doing bourbon to wine because it's one of those cheese boards that has like the
Oh,
little holder for the wine glass.
mm.
And they also got me a Lego set for the Baby Yoda.
Aw, go Gru, go Gru. So, okay, I was gonna ask, how did you get your steak done?
A medium rare, of course. Thank you, Allison. Okay, so Bird is smoking. Ooh, this looks good.
Yeah.
Aroma Craft Magnum. All right, so going with a bold cigar,
Mm-hmm.
really high intensity in the flavors, and a ribeye. So I'm doing a ribeye. What kind of meat are you doing?
Sirloin cut.
Okay, so you're doing a sirloin cut. I'm doing a ribeye. He's doing a ribeye with potatoes. You're doing potatoes as well. I'm not. And he's doing a
We have
red blend
macaroni
from,
and cheese and lobster.
what's that?
Macaroni and cheese and lobster.
I know. See, I just went.
Your girl knows how to eat.
Well, see, I went into Whole Foods, and I explained to them. I said, "Look here. I'm doing a YouTube show tonight, and I'm going to be pairing a cheese with ribeye steak. And I already knew I was going to do a ribeye, whether I cooked it or whether the restaurant cooked.
Mm-hmm.
And a red wine. And they said, what red wine? And I told them, I said, Quill Mountain 2011 Cab Sav. And they said, oh my goodness, special day. And my kid's like, yep, it's his birthday. And it's like, all right. And I want a cheese to go with that. And you tell me what cheese, and I'll get the cheese. And the lady goes, and then? Because, I kind of paused, and I said, and then I'll pair a cigar with it. And she goes, oh, really? That sounds cool. And so they had a number of different blue cheeses.
Mm-hmm.
And we went with this one, which is a really soft blue cheese, almost the soft
It looks like butter.
consistent. Yeah,
It looks like butter.
it's almost like a butter, or like that really soft stinky cheeses that they
Mm-hmm.
do. And my son-in-law Cooper, he's like, I don't like blue cheese. I said, take a slice off
Yeah.
of this one, and he took a slice off of it, and he's like, oh, that's actually pretty good. I was like, yeah, blue cheese, it's when it's good,
It's good.
it's good.
It's
And
good.
when it's not, it
It's
ain't.
bad.
It's
It's
it,
bad.
it ain't. And it should just be put into a dressing because nobody needs that.
And that's
So,
dressing. So Well,
Yes,
I can.
yes, like it's like a brie softness, Bert.
So I don't know if you can see it. So here's my steak. And for those who do not know me or have not watched the show enough, know that I like my steaks mooing. So I eat my steaks rare. Normally, when I do it, it's even rarer than this. So to me, it's a little bit overcooked. So yeah, so that's what my steak looks like. So here we go.
Mm.
Mm.
You know, and here's the thing: a perfectly cooked steak is going to be amazing whether it's hot or it's cold.
Mhm. Mhm.
It doesn't matter because the temperature doesn't diminish the flavors if it cools
Right.
down. Now, yes, the hot steak, a hot steak directly off of the grill is going to be, have more amplified, but no, this is just,
Yeah. It. I love it because Josh says only way
yeah,
to know
blue
is
stick.
so. I'm gonna tell him is he's actually the one who got me to eat raw. I don't know if you know that, Josh, but you're the one who got me to eat. Because I went shooting pew pew with him, and he was like making steaks, and he goes, "I'll only make it raw," and I'm like, "All right." So we ate it, and like seriously, it was like carnivores, no forks, anything tearing in that, and it was like the best steak ever. One of the best.
Oh, every steak I cook, before I plop it on whatever cooking surfaces I'm cooking it on,
Mm-hmm.
I'm cutting the tip of it off before it's had any heat applied to it. So it's as raw as it can
Mm-hmm.
be, and I'm eating it because there's just so much flavor to it. Now
Wow.
mine is a little bit more overdone than what I mean. It's still medium rare, but like what Josh was saying, I prefer a little bit more to the blue side
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
of it, but still it's so damn good.
Okay. So I was kind of a little bit nervous because, like, this is San Andreas with Nicaragua. So what we talked about is like where in Nicaragua it is like usually volcanic is peppery. So this can be like a peppery cigar. Of course, what do steaks? They're normally seasoned with black pepper
Hmm.
and salt, right? And sometimes like garlic or whatever. So when you look at it, the darker is the more pepper. That's where it kind of like it looks like it's burnt, but it's not. It's from the
Right.
pepper. And I was kind of a little bit. Um, I was like, when I ate this steak by itself, I was like, dang, this is a peppery steak. I was like, it's gonna be pepper overload on my cigar, and it's not pepper overload. It is like it brought out like some more of those like leather chocolate notes from the San Andreas, which completely shocked me.
I
I was not
want to say
expecting that.
that it's
I wasn't
more
expecting that.
jalapa, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like it's the jalapa, but you also get some of that volcanic ash in it. So, and my thing is like whenever I've had cigars, sometimes they don't go well with mac and cheese, so we're gonna try it, right? So I'm gonna eat it by itself first.
So I'm doing a piece of meat with a little bit of blue cheese, and yes, I'm eating with my fingers, but I pre-cut my steak, and it just makes it easier when we're on the show.
Um,
So no judging.
and I've got lobster on my mac and cheese. I've got bougie mac and cheese.
You know what? I don't care if you don't like blue cheese or not. If you can eat cheese, have some blue cheese with your steak. That is just so amazingly good.
Mm. Yes, caveman style.
And with this opus, and we've talked about Opus, we've talked about Arturo Fuente, we've talked about Dominican. This is a Dominican Puro.
Mm-hmm.
Opus X was the first Dominican Puro that came to market in the mid 80s. I want to say it was 85. And this has just got lots of herbaceous notes, a lot of earthy, lots of floral notes. And the way it balances those bold, gamey flavors from the steak and the blue cheese is just, it's like the blue cheese is pulling forward those floral notes
Mm-hmm.
so much forward that it hides away the grainy hay notes from the opus.
Uh-huh.
So now I'm getting I'm getting lavender, I'm getting rose. I mean, I'm getting just like you're walking through the botanical gardens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like that, like to me, is what a true, when you're saying that, if you have smoked a true pre-embargo Cuban, that is what it is.
Yeah, it's like
It's floral. It's straight up floral.
it's straight up floral. I mean, it's like go to your botanical gardens, clear your palate, clear your nasal passages, no allergies, nothing, and just take all of that into your senses, and you've got what I'm getting out of this cigar. When I mean, this is like the perfect contrast pairing, and I haven't even introduced my wine yet.
Yeah.
I just realized I had been showing out Bert's comment all this
Oh
time.
no. And it's funny because now we have people like interesting comments. Mm.
Remember how we've talked, Red? We've talked about really there's three different types of pairings that you want to look for.
Ooh.
You want that perfect balanced pairing to
Mm-hmm.
where everything is contrasted, everything is complemented, just absolutely perfectly. Both the cigar, the drink, the food, everything is just balancing out. Nothing's overpowering.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is being enhanced on both sides, and that's
Perfect.
like the perfect, yeah, the perfect pairing to shoot for. And then you've got your contrast pairing where where you've got contrasting styles and they're uplifting each other, and you're seeing one particular note or maybe a family of notes out of either side that is coming forward. And then you've got your complementary pairing to where again they're perfectly balancing, but to where it's enhancing the already predominant notes on it. This one is that perfect contrast pairing.
Yeah. And that was like, so one thing is I did want to say is like, we asked what the viewers were smoking, and Burt Smoking was the only one who answered. So what else? And then Josh makes me feel old. He said he was 1 in 87.
I don't want to hear it.
Okay. So,
I graduated high school in '85.
I was like
You're 10 years younger than me.
so let's see. I can't math right now. Someone
Uh,
math for me.
You were in second grade.
Second grade. I was in second grade.
I am.
86, I was in second grade because I had to wait a full year before I could start. Because, like, you had to be, by August 1st, you had to be 5. And I was
That's right.
That was back in the day.
Yeah,
But,
you were. You didn't get that way till a little bit later in August.
he was born Cinco de Mayo in 1984. Oh, my gosh.
May 5th.
I'm just going to finish the bottle now. So this is my first time ever having an Argentine.
Oh, I love an Argentine Malbec. Argentine Malbecs are hands down, in my opinion, the best Malbecs there is.
And sometimes, like, a lot of people stir away from the red because they're like, all red's dry. No, it's not.
You're like missing out.
Yeah. This is not a dry wine whatsoever. So it is very, very good. I want to say with My cigar with the mac and cheese was really, really good. They were just like happy together. Nothing stood out, you know. I think the chefs were a little bit pepper happy. They liked pepper, and so I have like a lot of peppers like on my steak and the mac and cheese, which is fine because I like flavor. So there's that. But yeah, this like I might end up drinking the whole bottle. I broke it anyway, so I
Oh
mean,
my goodness.
it's okay. I
So,
can do working drink.
so a Malbec still is a dry wine.
Mm-hmm.
It is a lighter bodied,
Right.
and so it's going to be a little bit more on the fruity side.
Yeah.
But you're
As
going
I
to
say, I
pick
taste
up,
scary.
yeah, and you may get a little bit of citrus in that Malbec. Now
Okay, I
you'll
thought I was losing my
no,
head. I really did. Because, like, there is some, and I was like, I'm losing my mind. Because there's sometimes, like, you smoke and you're like, is this really it? Or am I losing my mind? So I'm kind of glad you said that because I do taste that citrus.
we'll get a little bit more citrus in like the Napas and the Sonoma Malbecs.
Mm-hmm.
But the Argentina still has a little bit.
It's got a hint. A
Yes,
hint
it's got a
of
hint.
pinky.
Now Josh says he just finished a long pour himself, 17 cab sauv, and he's just finished a Fuente 2, cooking a center cut pork loin chops on a wood fire while watching. Awesome, loving this. So that's good. That's going to be good because with the pork loin,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to be a little bit more earthy
Yeah.
than we are with that red meat gamey
Yeah.
on that, and pairing that with the cab sav is going to be interesting if you're still drinking the cab sav. I don't mind going against the grain with my wine pairings, and a lot of people would say, with a pork, and with your white meat, you want to go with a little bit of a lighter body or maybe a white. I'm all about going against the grain on it and pushing that envelope.
Let's see. Yes. Yes, you do. We miss you up there, buddy.
Yes, miss you.
But
I for some reason I can't comment on Facebook, so I'm not even gonna try on here.
he's like, I'm done. So, I don't think I've had this yet. So I just have enjoyed the wine because I kind of wanted to get some.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it, buddy. Joe says happy birthday.
It killed the cherry.
I'm.
It popped the cherry.
Uh-oh.
That makes me sad.
Oh man.
I didn't want to pop that cherry. And the meaning, I'm not able to taste the cherry, y'all. So,
so it overpowers your red fruit from the wine.
yes,
Now, is that from including the meat or is that just the cigar?
just a cigar. It kind of like makes it's like I'm drinking liquid, but I'm not able, like, because sometimes whenever you're having your wine and your cigar, you can still get the wine flavor in the cigar, and but it kind of almost made me feel like I was drinking water.
Hey Ray, good to see you both on.
Yes.
Love it.
So I'm just gonna try from the wine to the cigar to see if that's
So now I'm going steak, blue cheese, and wine, and then cigar, and then I'll start going the other way. Wow. I haven't even gone to the cigar yet, and I don't give a shit. This is so damn good.
And for me, it's just kind of it's good, but I really thought that it was going to be a little bit different. So
you may have to go cigar 2.
I think when I do cigar, steak, and wine, it's really good.
Okay, so even that pause, because I had to relight my cigar.
Yeah.
Even that pause, because the steak, the blue cheese, the wine, and just that all of those flavors together were still right there.
Yeah.
And going to the cigar, it's still so good. It's like a floral explosion.
And that's the beauty. So I'm getting to where it's kind of like the outside where it's more fatty, which I love fatty parts of the I love fatties parts of my meat.
All right, so this is an important. I think this is so important and so good to show because this is
Mm-hmm.
just exemplifies what we've been saying all along when it comes to pairings. What we're trying to do is we're trying to teach bases of the basics and a little bit step up above from that of what it is to look for when you don't know what to look for in pairings. You know, that where it takes flavors and matching up flavors and profiles and matching those up. But
Right.
what Josh says, and this
Right.
last part, I just like what I like.
Yep.
And that's what matters
The
the
most.
most.
Yeah. But and here's my challenge to that because like, when we had like Philip on and with me working at the lounge, people always beeline and they go straight to what they want because they like what they like. And I have no problems with that. I have my comfort cigars. I have my comfort drinks. I'm all about the comfort and I'm all about my mood and all that stuff. But you can't grow that. And I know Josh is not like this because he will explore and he will
Oh,
challenge and he'll do
absolutely, yeah.
so. So I'm like, oh, Josh, I hope you're not thinking that I'm calling this out because I know you and I know you'll explore and you will try anything unusual and you just do what you want and you have a great palate and you know what goes together. But if you become stagnant, you're not going to find out new things that you might like. And you're
This is
missing
for
out.
the
And
yeah.
that's that.
This is for those that go for the Padron 9000, and it's almost always Padron. At least when I'm at lounges, and I say, oh, I will only smoke a Padron 64. I
Yeah.
will only smoke a Padron this or Padron that, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, dude, those are great cigars, but
Mm-hmm.
explore. This is for those. Josh, you're not though, right? You're not. Most of the people
Mm.
who are on here,
Or not that.
our regulars are not that. This is for those who
Mm-hmm.
happen upon this afterwards and hear what we're saying. You like what you like, but step outside of that because you just may find that you like more than what you thought.
Right. Mm.
Okay, so my only thing I got to say about this cigar, and I'm going to try a little bit more of a cut on this,
I was about to say it's tight draw.
It's it's a tight draw. The body of it is so light. Remember what we're talking about in the body here is the body is how much smoke. If you've been watching how much smoke she's getting as to how much smoke I'm getting on this. And when you have a smaller density of smoke,
Mm.
it's hard to get the flavors.
Mm. I'm glad we went with steak because like I'm
I,
enjoying this because and let me tell you the retro hell. You were talking about that little floral or whatever.
mm
There's a little bit of that like here's the thing is the ladies will get this. I'm not sure if some of you men. I think some of you men might. So I don't want to exclude you. Okay. Um, when you have chocolate, there is kind of like a floral. Like I think that he just had an O. I'm just gonna sit back and let you enjoy your O there, baby.
Oh, you saw that. Mm. And that was
He
so.
might have a mess to pick up.
Oh man.
So,
That's going from cigar just to steak and blue cheese.
so, but as I was saying, it's like on chocolates, you will get like a floral, and that's from the vanilla. The cocoa.
Hmm.
It's kind of and people are gonna sit there and think, oh my gosh, she's effing crazy. If you have like cocoa, you will get like a vanilla. I know it sounds crazy. But do you know what I'm talking about, Greybeard? Please tell me
Hmm.
you know what I'm talking about, so I'm not
I
like,
absolutely.
okay.
I'm with you.
So there will be like that vanilla. When I retro hell after I have like my lobster mac and cheese on the retro hell, I get the vanilla. Is that not insane?
I could see that, especially with that particular cigar. And when you think about it, if there's a ghost in my room, did you see? Oh, she left.
Yeah.
That particular cigar, because we got to think. Okay, let's
And
we're
I'm gonna do this like I'm sorry if you get grossed out about not having your food touched. Don't watch me.
I
I'm
are
gonna
you
try
kidding?
this with the cigar. It's gonna be good.
Think about where Jalapa is. Okay, so Jalapa's in the mountains, in a valley, in the mountains,
Hmm.
in the rainforest in Nicaragua, and it's the lower elevation than even Ometepe, which is an island. Okay, so we're dealing here with a lot of different types of magnesium and phosphates that's in the soil.
Oh,
And we get a lot of really creaminess type notes out of tobacco grown in Jalapa, right?
yeah.
So it makes, to me, it makes absolute sense that you're getting that vanilla nut type notes
Yeah.
out of what you're getting that, especially on the retro.
And
Now,
it's like a creamy. And I'm telling you, so you have it. You need to mix up. You need to like. I just had a big girl bite with like my mac and cheese. So all you judgmental people, that's okay. I have a big mouth. So
mm,
I want you to put two foods together, Graybeard.
I
So
am. I've
did
got
you?
my steak and blue cheese.
What was your other side?
Blue cheese. Blue
Your
cheese and
other
blue cheese. Blue
no.
cheese and blue cheese.
You didn't get like papas or nada. You just got blue cheese and blue cheese.
That's back inside.
Hey.
Thank you,
Oh,
Mark. Are
so
you kidding? I wanted steak and blue cheese. Remember, I wanted cheese. I wanted to go with the cheese.
you wanted cheese, but I was like, what? We're gonna do more than cheese because you only turn blank blank.
You can say I turned
Okay, I didn't
56.
know if I could. You
I
only
I don't give a
turn
shit.
you
I
only
don't care.
turn 56 once. If you actually think about it, you only turn any number once. So why not?
And when you actually
Split?
think about it, I'm really only one day older than what I was yesterday, except for now that damn number is forced to change. But I took today
Oh,
off.
fuck.
I spent the day with my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
We ran some errands and then met up with some friends and went and had happy hour at Thirsty Lion. And that's where I've got my steak. And they did this steak really good. I won't say exceptionally good because it for a prime rib, a prime rib medium rare should actually be more towards the blue side than the pink side.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike a sirloin medium rare is going to be really nice pink with a cool touch. A prime rib should be a little bit more blue, meaning that it's a little bit more towards the rare side.
Um.
See, I knew he didn't like me, Red. I knew he didn't like me.
Okay, so I'm gonna say I'm liking the lobster with my cigar. I just had the lobster just by itself with the cigar, and they liked each other.
Okay, so I'm going only blue cheese this time.
But okay, and I'm gonna kind of like tell you about some of this. So some
Mm,
of your he's really liking that blue cheese. So some of your restaurants, I'm gonna say this, will not do like the rare or the pink or like what you might do at home. There's a few restaurants that will. For example, Hell's Kitchen. They will make it where it's still mooing. You
Yep.
go to Chamberlain's here in Dallas. That will still moo. You
You
go to
you go to
the
Mercury Chop
Capitol.
House, Mercury Chop House, Jared Hutchins restaurant
Yeah,
in Arlington. You want it mooing?
it's
It'll
still
come
gonna
out
be good.
mooing.
But like a lot of restaurants have that like nervousness to serve it that way because like I don't know. I understand that they have to do it at a certain temp regulation or whatever, but
I think it's a CYA type thing.
yeah, but
That
like I
way,
appreciate the ones that still like if I want my steak mooing and I'm gonna pay for a steak, make it moo. That's all I'm saying.
and as long as I've been cooking, and as long as anybody who's a chef that I have ever talked to, and we could talk to Josh, we could talk to anybody who's come on this show and has been a chef. I would imagine that they cannot say one single person that in their life that ever got salmonella poisoning from a steak cooked rare or just being rare. I've been eating raw steak for my entire life. I swear, every time I cook a steak, I cut a sliver of it off and I eat it raw, and I've never gotten poisoning, never gotten food poisoning, anything from it. This isn't ground beef, people. This is good beef.
So as you're watching, I'm sorry. I'm talking about
Don't be sorry. I'm so glad you mentioned steak. Thank you for mentioning steak. Hey, Chris, glad to see you jump in there, buddy.
I will say, okay, I have sour cream on my baked potato. And I knew that it could probably do this, but I went ahead and tried it. I just put a dab on it, but it will, because it's sour cream,
Mm-hmm.
and when you have it with the cigar, it brings out that, it's almost like a bitter. Like, like you need to purge your cigar.
Yeah.
That's what you get when you have, like, sour cream with the red meat liver.
And that's a challenge that we've had so far in our shows, which we may want to decide to tackle this challenge at some point in time, to where our to do a pairing with dairy.
Well,
You
that
know,
weeks me out, so that'll be you.
that's right, because you're lactose. You
Yeah,
got lactose
I said
issues.
I only had there's like a lot of the sour cream left, and I just had like a little bit over the thing, and I didn't load up on the mac and cheese because, and I'm grateful that it's not very cheesy because I was like, oh,
Okay, so maybe I'll do that with a Greybeards Insight pairing segment.
yeah, we should do that.
That way you're not put into a position to where you have to do something. I mean, because I obviously don't want you to be in a position where you
Right.
have to do something that's not going to be healthy for you.
Yeah, and and that's a good point. Is like when you just have um meat that's like, I like how he says it. It's just kissed by the fire. It is just literally like wabam for a couple seconds, flip, wabam, and then that.
Kind of like what Josh says here.
Yeah,
I do prefer them cooked, but just barely kissed by the fire.
Mm-hmm.
It's like my grandpa used to say. My grandpa was a truck driver, PBR drinking truck driver, and he would come over and visit, and Mom would say, "Dad, how do you want your steak done?" And he would say, "Slap it on the fire, kick it, and turn it."
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what's funny? Okay, so Josh, so this is going back into my photography days. This is exactly bam, grill marks and plate.
Mm-hmm.
The way, he was a hillbilly. The way when you see the photographs with the grill marks, You know how we get those grill marks in the photos? We take like a knife sharpening rod, and we heat it with a torch, and we lay it down. That's it. That's steak,
It's
and
not really with the grill marks like that.
we brown it with the torch. So we'll take the steak, we'll brown it with the torch, heat up the knife sharpening rod, lay it down so it sizzles it, and there's your grill marks, and that's a photograph. So anytime you see a steak that's in a picture that's cooked that way, that's how it's done.
Yeah, like it's all lies. It's all
Oh,
propaganda and lies.
you have no, you don't want it. I mean, the water drops on the tomatoes and the fruit.
It's sprayed.
No, it's glycerin. It's
Ugh.
pure glycerin drops on it. And in fact, we played a joke with a young photographer who's just coming on, an apprentice, and we were doing some photos for TGI Fridays, and we were doing the chili fries, and we had just coated the chili fries with glycerin and put
Oh,
in
you
the
can make
couple of
me.
drops in there, and then he goes, "So what do we do with the food after it's done?" And I said, being the asshole in me, I said, "We eat it." And he goes, Do you mind if I have this one?" "Sure, go ahead." About 20 minutes later, you can imagine where he was.
Yeah. So, me and my big bread. I'm going. You know what? I don't know if I'm going to try my bread. I'm trying to think if I've had bread with cigar.
This looks like a machete. It's just a standard steak knife.
No, that is not a standard steak knife. This is a standard steak knife right
No,
here.
in my house, this is a standard steak knife. I could bring out my Bowie knife.
Bowie knife, meme?
Yes, that one.
Yeah, Bowie.
Don't judge me.
No, it's like you can tell people from Texas because they go Bowie, Bowie. You know, I like bread and cigar. I've never think I've ever just eaten bread and cigar. Like that sounds like I'm eating a cigar.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not a bread person.
I'm trying to get back to my gluten-free. I've been gluten-free, and since I went back on it, I have felt so much better. I'm sleeping through the nights. I'm not waking up in the middle of the night with indigestion. It's just it has helped my health out so much just to stay away from it.
I'm liking cigar and bread.
I'm liking cigar and blue cheese. And I've got some truffle gouda in there. Mm.
That's really good.
Got some goat cheese.
You know, this is how much that I have for you because I'm missing my grandson.
Well,
My
thank
little
you.
baby here. Yeah. And you say,
I appreciate it because I would hate to do a birthday celebration by myself.
I know I wouldn't make you do that though, but I am glad that I was like, we're gonna do more than just a cheeseburger or a new steak. I'm glad I did. Like, I'm like, hey, we need to make this special.
So Bert asked what's for dessert, and well, I've already had my dessert. I had a creme brulee at the restaurant.
Okay.
Hi
Okay. So I got
Nadine.
dessert.
Thank you Nadine.
Hello, Miss Nadine. Okay, so I'm gonna put my stuff over to the side,
So what are you bringing out?
and like I'm so mad because I didn't bring out a proper dessert plate. Hold on.
Oh man, that's I this every part of this pairing with the steak, just the steak and the cigar and wine, the blue cheese and the cigar and wine, and then all of them come together was is so good. And I mean, I wouldn't say I was really concerned about that. I was hoping,
Mm-hmm.
but this full contrast pairing,
You're like
I
loving it.
I love it. I highly recommend it.
You're like enjoying it.
Okay, so all right, so here let me while you're doing that, let me show this what Josh said. Some psychological science behind that, Greybeard. Humans are facultative carnivores. We aren't supposed to eat grains of any sort. We get most of our bioavailable nutrition from animal foods. Yep, I 100% agree. But
Well,
we can survive on plant foods that bloom and produce fruits as well as root veg and some seeds like beans. But grains are not natural to our physiology.
mhm.
100% agree. I mean,
Yeah,
100%
it's
agree.
not.
That doesn't mean that grains are bad, but there are so many nutrients that we get out of both white meats and red meats, and society has just tried to
It
push
is
down our throats that red meat is bad for you, and it's not. It's like
nothing red is evil for you.
it's like everything else in life within moderation. Be wise about how you're doing. I mean, you can drink water as good as water is for you. You can overindulge in water and destroy your body.
Oh, okay. So, uh, you asked for what was dessert, so I'm plating it. I'm gonna give you a hint. There's that. Woo.
That looked like a strawberry.
Yep. Strawberry, and then and I'm like because I didn't bring like a dessert thing. Here, I'm just about to make every man go crazy. Whipped cream.
Mmm.
Happy birthday
Day
to
to
you.
you.
Happy
Happy birthday
birthday
to
to you.
you.
Happy
Happy
Red,
birthday,
red.
Greybeard. I know.
dear Dad. There might
Happy
be a fire. We
birthday
don't
to
know.
you. So,
Okay, I can't blow these out because they're already out, but wow.
yes.
Uh,
So I went ahead and started dessert because I was like, we're gonna
Okay,
bring it
so
out
we
now.
need it.
So yes, that was your little one.
You probably just plug it off.
Yeah.
So I was like, he can have dessert now.
Yeah.
if anybody doesn't know, Reese's peanut butter cups is my absolutely favorite candy bar. Yes, Nadine, that is Morgan.
Yes. I didn't want it to, like she told me her plan and I was like, I love it, but you can't bring it out because it will melt because we're in Texas, honey. And so like I was like, okay, someone brought up dessert. We are going to dessert now. Um, so because you still have your thing. So I'm interested to see how the chocolate will pair with your cigar.
All right,
I think
this is
I think it's going to be great.
well. I already know that the chocolate's going to go good with the wine
Yes.
because one, this is a Cab Sav, and two, it's a Napa, and three, it's a really damn good Napa wine.
Right. So
So
what I
wow.
have is a sweet, rich butter cake with strawberries and whipped cream. So, because I was like, I'm not going to start my dessert because that would be very rude of me.
So my cake, which I mean, if you know, since I've just mentioned I'm going gluten free, I can't have cake. My cake is a Reese's peanut butter cup, and I got a little bit of wax on there.
And it's okay.
Mm.
So, I'm trying to clean up.
Good to see you, Josh. Thanks for tuning in, brother.
Yes, thank you.
We need to grab a smoke together.
So, I'm going to cover up my stuff so the beautiful animals of this world do not get it. And yes, so happy birthday. So I will enjoy cake for you.
All
So
right, so
I want to do my wine with this first.
I did the cigar
Well, you're
first,
being rebellious.
and what's interesting is that where the meat, the steak, and the blue cheese allowed the herbaceous notes to come from forward,
Mm-hmm.
the chocolate actually tones those down, and so now I'm getting those leathery notes.
Ooh.
So that earthy, leathery notes that your Opus X is known for.
Okay. Whoops! I've got to make. Y'all are gonna hear my wine sing for a minute because I just really don't want to get glass on me. Oh
Oh
shoot!
wow. Oh wow.
Off. Fuckery.
Whew.
Oh man, the mosquitoes are coming out tonight. They're gonna sing to you at Greybeard.
Love you,
Oh my
Nadine. Thanks
god.
for tuning in. Okay, so Bert asked a really good question.
Okay.
It says, so Greybeard and Red, what does using an aerator do for wine?
Okay. So I have been a big fan, and I've always talked about the aerators because if you do not have time and you have not properly been able to like air out your wine, it does it for you. Now, granted, I broke the neck off my bottle because I already
So you
took it.
really didn't have to aerate it, but you did.
I didn't, but the thing was, the reason that I did is I didn't want glass shards. But like the main thing is I stuck it in the refrigerator because before you have your reds, you should chill a little bit,
Yep.
right?
20
before.
minutes, 20 to 30 minutes before,
Yeah,
right?
and I didn't have the time to do that. By the time I got home and was trying to get everything ready, and I was like, oh, I want to go outside and get some vitamin D and all that stuff, right? Even though the sun's going down. So I still, I didn't really have time to do it. So when you have your red wines, or any wine, it doesn't matter, your whites or whatever, you want to aerate it. And if you don't have time, that is what that is for. There's different levels. Like the one I have, not every one is like this. I will say, like, I have a bougie one, and I did a level 6 since I did not have time to do it. So kind of, look at that. It's a
Well,
great investment. People who, even if you do have time to do it, I always like it. If you hear it sing, it means that your wine needed to be aerated.
if you don't have, even if you don't have an aerator, like what Red has, or a decanter,
Mm-hmm.
then swirling it around. The reason why we swirl it around is because what this does chemically to it is that the oxygen in it interacts with the
Mm-hmm.
components of the wine that opens up that body.
Oh my god.
So it takes those tannins in a red and it smooths those tannins out. It takes the acidity in a white and it smooths those out. And you can do that just with the simple action of this motion as well here.
Yeah.
I am not smoking a Gurkha, Bert.
Did he say you were smoking a Gurkha?
So Chris asked what I'm smoking with, and Bert says a Gurkha. No, I'm smoking the Opus X Desario. This was the torpedo Churchill size.
Okay.
See, I told you that Bert doesn't like me. I mean, I don't know what it is, you know.
So,
Hey, Money. Mad Money from 262 in Ohana.
woo woo! So I'm having a red meat lovers, and I'm gonna say
And Red is smoking an acid. Yes, she is.
yes.
Uh-huh.
You know what? You might. I mean, it's like yes, I'm having an acid or a flavored cigar. Ooh,
Well, that's what women smoke, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. My I'm just gonna say this: if you have a red meat lovers, enjoy it with your steak and your hearty foods. It is not made for the dessert stuff.
I think you would have to go with. I
Oh,
th- I think you would have to
oh
go
God,
with a little bit of a strong, maybe a little bit of a bolder profile of a dessert, like maybe a custard, something
oh
that I I don't see the acidity of that strawberry and that strawberry shortcake going
no,
good with it.
it is like burnt. Like I'm licking an ashtray. It's like a cigarette. That's like a cigarette right there. But hey, so I have my dessert and I'm gonna pair it with my wine as I'm trying as my stuff is dropping. And I'm gonna come down here. Oh my gosh, it just like fell all over the place. Um, So I did have it with my wine, and I just want to say, when you had your O moment and you're over there like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, and you made a mess. That's what this does. The dessert and the wine. It's not as sweet as a port, but it's it's damn good.
Taking the Reese's peanut butter cup to the
That is
wine
good with wine. Shit.
and to this red wine. I mean, it's almost like I've got a chocolate port
Yeah.
with a hint of dryness in it, and then bringing that to the cigar. I mean, it reminds me of when I played baseball as a teenager, and you know
Where
how
are you going?
when you're chewing on the leather, when you're taking the leather of the glove, the leather straps of the glove, and you're sitting out there in right field waiting because you're positioned in right field and nobody hits the ball to right field, and you're bored. That sweetness of that leather.
Okay. I was a catcher, so I always got action.
But bump.
Um, like I really like I loved the cigar. I'm scared to see what they're saying. Like painted
Painted the
the most.
most vivid picture.
You're welcome. Um, yeah. So I mean, so my whole thing is, I really loved the cigar and the steak, and and I'm gonna say I have had red meat lovers, and I've always paired it with the steak. It's like one of my go-tos with the steak.
That's why
The,
they
that's
that's
why
why they blended
the
it that way.
yeah. And that was the whole point of it was the was that. But you know, now you're gonna have to know if you're gonna have a cigar that goes really, really well with the steak, don't pair it with something sweet. So, like when I went to Chamberlain's, and the thing I loved about Chamberlain's is like you smoke and you eat kind of like what we've done tonight, and it's at a restaurant where you can do that. So I had, I think it was the red meat lovers with my steak.
With one of them, I remember you
Yeah,
had talked about it. Yeah.
and it was phenomenal. Like the steak was mooing, and I can't even remember my sides, but I mean, if you look back in my Instagram, you'll see pictures. It was like freaking amazing. Then it was time for dessert. So I got like I can't even remember. It was like a very sweet dessert. It was bread pudding, sweet bread pudding with strawberries on it, kind of like the same thing. And I paired it with the port, but I changed my cigar.
Good.
The reason I changed my cigar was for this very reason right here. I didn't do that tonight. I would have finished this with the steak, but Morgan and I had planned for you to come to have the dessert about 8 o'clock. So that is why I was like, okay, bring out the dessert, baby girl.
You,
So,
you
yeah.
guys did good with this. And Morgan is like, Dad, or Cooper. He was so adamant on me doing a wine tonight. And I
That's what
forgot the board inside.
I know. You're going to have to bring the board next week.
I'll bring the
See the board.
Yeah, I'll bring the board next week. Now, Bert says our challenge for next week should be a Riesling or a Moscato
Uh,
at Ventura. Okay, so now Bert, I'm gonna have to ask you because I can do a Riesling and I can do a true German Riesling, and it's not going to be a sweet wine because a true German Riesling is actually a dry white. So, are you wanting me to do more of a sweeter Riesling because you mentioned Moscato, or do you want a just a Riesling
or I say,
in the grape?
I'm almost saying like, I like white port. You
So
haven't had a white port.
I have not had a white port, but what I did have, and what we did on the TCR, Texas Cigar Roadshow, in our recordings on Sunday, was to give you a little bit of a hint. Skelton went out to a winery, Texas winery, and they had what they called the chocolate decadence
That is so effing good.
from Angelita Vineyards.
Holy
From
shit.
Angela, and that was, I mean, it was only 12.5%.
But did you go
But
up?
oh yes, I mean, and the cigar that we paired it with, I mean, which you're gonna have to watch the show because I can't give it all away.
I know.
But he here's the thing. So and you know this, Red. When I first started coming on the show, and I've been on that show now for almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in August. David smoked cigars and he drank whiskey, but he never really got into the pairings of it.
No.
And so he brought out the pairings. I had nothing to do with the pairings.
What, he did that all by himself?
He brought out the pairings.
Oh.
He brought out the
I'm
pairings,
so
and
proud of him.
I was just like,
message him.
he's like, I'm wanting to bring something to you, and I was like, dude, man, wow, these are.
Was that the first time you had that wine?
First time, and I've been to Angelita Vineyards, but I had their whites.
Away.
It's.
But you can, and here's the thing: if you, well, I'm not saying you're not going to give it away. If you are a Texan, then you know what it is about that. So I'm just going to say that you didn't give it away.
Nope.
I'm going to say that because as soon as you said it, I was like, oh my gosh, I knew exactly what you were talking about. I knew exactly what you were talking about because I'd had it. And I'm going to say this: without a neck, this thing is a bitch to pour.
Oh, I bet.
You should see the mess that I've created. It is so bad.
You probably want to decanter it.
No, we're going to go for some glass.
I'm meaning that unless you're planning on finishing the bottle tonight.
I've already finished it. I killed it.
See, I'm slowing down because I had a head start ahead of you.
I know. You had a happy hour and everything, and I had sad news. Well, let me tell you. So we had a meeting, and it was an impromptu meeting. So whenever I've been in the education for like ever since the dinosaurs, like kids were taking dinosaurs to school, you know. So whenever there's an impromptu meeting at the end of the year, it's usually saying the principal's leaving. That's what I've learned in my 20,000 years of being in education.
20,000?
20,000, yeah, 20,000. And guess what? I was right. And I'm going to tell you, I love this principal. But my first year, she rode my ass. Like, are you sure? Why are you doing it? Like, she questioned everything. And it kind of made me feel like I wasn't doing my job. But I learned that she wanted to learn why kids would qualify or didn't qualify. It was more of like, I need to understand why. So we we sometimes I'm like, no, I'm not going to do evaluate this kid, and I'm looking at the data, and then she's like, well, no, you need to evaluate it. So I go ahead and evaluate it, and I tell her, I was like, okay, you just wasted 40 hours of my life, and I was right. So she's learned to respect my thoughts and my opinions, right? And today she told us she was leaving.
Oh
So
no.
yeah. So I was like on the fence on whether, I was like, I can't do two schools. But I love the school so much. And then now that she was leaving, I said, well, I'm going to go have a cigar and drink some wine. And you know what? When you can tell me where you're going, let me know. And I'll be here to. And she was like, okay. But the thing is her husband smokes cigars and drinks wine. So Father's Day, birthdays, anniversary, I always give like she gives me her credit card, and she's like, go get cigars, go get wine, go get bourbon, go get whatever, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So, and that's built our relationship on it. So it's been pretty cool, but it's kind of like a sad thing because
Yeah.
when you've worked with someone and you've kind of like bickered, but then it's a respectful bicker. You know what I'm saying? You learn to respect each other. Um, it's a bitter moment. So it'll be interesting to, you know,
I don't want colleagues or directors that I work for that matter, to where is always, we're always 100% in agreement. I
no.
want that kind of banter back and forth because that's how respect grows.
Hmm.
That's how growth grows.
Hmm.
Because you've heard me say before, it is impossible to grow in this life.
Hmm.
Impossible to grow in this life if there isn't that respectful
Right.
emphasis on respectful. If there isn't that
Yeah.
respectful conflict, that respectful banter.
Right.
Now, conflict brings about change, change brings
Hmm.
about growth.
Right.
And that will not happen unless that conflict starts off. But
Right.
it's got to be respectful for that. And that's the big thing that we're missing right now in society
Oh.
with all the different sides is that conflict. The conflict's there. There's
Hmm.
opportunity for change and for growth, but the respect isn't there from either side. And sorry, everybody get political, but this is something. I mean, this is something that I'm even thinking about doing an episode in my other podcast on, because of how important this is. People run away from conflict, but no,
Yeah.
approach it respectfully.
They do. And my whole thing is, there's a lot of people that, and I will say this, 9 times out of 10 when you meet me, and I will have something on me. I'm just gonna put it like that because I don't want you to like red flag us.
I know
And
what you're talking about, and I
yeah,
think everybody on our show knows
yeah,
what you're
they
talking about.
should know. And some people have issues with that. Now, here's my thing. I work in a education system. It is very sensitive since we've had school shootings. At the cigar lounge, I was working at the cigar lounge 3.5 miles, or maybe 5 miles, is when that shooting happened. But here's the thing: is I'm as for somebody who carries, and I'm big about my Second Amendment. But here's my thing. Do we need stricter laws about it? I'm not going to argue about stricter laws because I'm an abiding citizen. And if that means I have to wait 30 days or I have to go through whatever to carry, I don't mind that because it might bring peace to somebody. And do I believe that there should be stricter? Yes. But am I saying that you shouldn't be able to have your Second Amendment? No. I think it's like when you have that respectful conflict, you have to meet on a medium ground. And that's with work. It's with anything right now. And that's just my 2 cents.
The only way to have respectful conflict is when both sides are willing, for 2 things to happen. 1, willing to shut up and listen.
Amen.
And 2, willing to admit that they may be wrong. As soon as you are unwilling to do either of those things, even if it's just one of those things, as soon as you're unwilling to do either of those things, it's no longer a respectful conflict, but it's an argument.
Right.
And once the argument comes into play, then emotions start arising. Once emotions start rising, you're not listening, and therefore you're not hearing, and you're closing the opportunities for growth.
But here's my thing. I'm going to disagree with one part of your statement on this one. You don't have to, like, here's my thing. If you realize that you're wrong, then yes, please admit that you're wrong. But it may not be like it with debate because, like, you might come even on a standard ground, but you might have to say, okay, I hear what you're saying and I respectfully disagree.
Perfect, 100%. Perfect.
Yeah.
And that does not take away from you being willing to admit that you're wrong. I am more than 100% willing to admit that I'm wrong, but it's on you to come to me being able to back up why. Don't just come to me and say you're wrong and expect me to bow down to it because you state that you're wrong. Be able to back out.
Yeah.
Why am I wrong? What is it that I need to improve? And don't tell me it's not your responsibility, because if it's not your responsibility, then you have no ground in your argument.
Right.
100% agree with what you just said.
And that's my thing is like, we don't have to see eye to eye. And like there's some things, and we've had guests on our show, and that's fine. Like, I have a shotgun, I have pistols in my house. Someone's coming in, I've got babies I've got to protect. First, I'm going to tell you, get the F out. You don't get the F out. Then, if my dogs haven't eaten you yet, which there's 5 of them, and they're not little dogs, they're big dogs. And if they haven't eaten you, in order to protect my babies, I'm going to go full on mama bear. But a shotgun and a pistol, it will do what I need. It will be able to protect me. Do I feel like I need like all the like automatic weapons and all that stuff? No. I don't have them in my house. But there's also other reasons I don't have them. And it's for, and here's another thing. If you're going to have it, you need to make sure that you have some kind of protection at your house. Because if, kind of like, with the bullying thing, if you're a parent and you're not responsible for your guns, then you need to be held liable for what your children do with it.
It's funny how most of the law-abiding Second Amendment, that one, owners are responsible and they have their guns protected.
Right.
I last night I watched Jason Steinem, or I can't remember.
I like him. Not
so
only is he sexy.
His movie, the movie that he did a couple years back, Homefront,
mm-hmm.
and his daughter, the best line in the movie, his daughter goes, "Dad, I asked him twice."
Yep.
I asked him twice. No, I'm not tipsy. I just have a hard time with names sometimes.
And my thing is like, it should have only been once. The fact that she asked him twice, that was pretty nice of her. Just saying.
Well,
Just saying.
she asked him twice, and when he still refused, she kicked his ass.
And you know what? That's okay. You know.
Right? And the teacher's like, you taught your daughter how to fight? No, ma'am. I taught my daughter how to defend herself.
Yep. Yep.
And that's when
100%.
she looked up and said, I asked him twice.
Yes. And like somehow I was kicked off on our Facebook, and I'm sitting here trying to find us again because I
I
can't see the comments, and it makes me sad.
I
I feel
can't
like
I can
I
only
feel like
comment I can only comment to
okay.
YouTube. I can't comment to either of the the Facebook or the LinkedIn channel.
So, like, I've missed out on all this conversation happening between, 262 Mad Money, Chris Coulter, and
And
Bert B.
and
Bougie.
and Bert B. Bougie calling me
Yeah,
out.
smoking an acid. F you. Yeah. I'm like catching up, y'all, so I'm sorry. So,
Well, we're at that point in time in the show
yeah.
to where we can catch up. This pairing has been great. This has been a beautiful, quiet, and fun birthday. I really enjoyed spending the day with my daughter. I always love, being able to spend some quality time with her. Even, while we were doing is running errands.
It's always good. I,
It's I
I
enjoy that time.
okay, hold
Maybe so, Bert. Maybe so.
on.
Bert says I think we're all a little bit tipsy.
Yeah. Hey, that's fine. And I'm gonna say because like the steak, I enjoyed the steak with my cigar. I enjoyed the mac and cheese. Like as I said, with the dairy, it's not a very good thing. My dessert was too sweet, but my dessert worked really well with my wine. And so now I'm ending it with my cigar. Did you see how I said my cigar?
Yes, I did. So
Yeah.
who's the one that's a little bit tipsy?
Okay, so see, and I don't know where the freaking camera is. Like, okay, so here is my cigar, and here's my wine, and I killed a bottle of wine. But in my defense, like it poured, like you saw how much poured out. I was like so sad.
Oh,
I was like,
I
I kid
showed
you
it
not.
to the
I was like, oh fuck. That was exactly what
I showed it to the team, and I was like, "There's this streak of red wine going down your driveway."
it's a sad, sad day. It's a sad day for Red. But like I hope you enjoyed your birthday dinner
I did.
and your blue
I,
cheese.
I and my blue cheese, and I've got Reese's peanut butter cups that I'm gonna have to put in the freezer because they've been sitting out here in the 82-degree weather that we still have up here on the third floor in Euless, Texas.
Here's my thing. Every time I hear Euless, because I grew up in the snob hob of Colleyville, we always called it useless.
I knew you were gonna go there.
You
I
knew
knew
it.
it.
You knew it.
I knew it.
It was like the snob hob.
Even though Colleyville is right there and Grapevine is right there, I mean I'm at that quadrant.
Yeah, but let me tell you, back in the day, do you know where Walmart is? Because you're just like, right?
Yeah, it's
That was actually part of it was in Colleyville, and it was enough for Colleyville to say that they had a Walmart. Colleyville gave up that land
so they didn't
so
have
they
a
would not
Walmart
have
there.
a Walmart in Colleyville. That's how snobbish we are.
So I had an adventure with my car this past 3 days.
What?
So Saturday I took it to the shop to figure out what was going on with the ABS sensors to
Oh,
me
that's the
think
worst.
me thinking that I had to have that done in order for it to pass inspection. And so I drop it off there at about 10. I walk over to the AT&T store and I get myself a new watch. Walk.
Oh, no. See, okay, I'm just going to pause right here for a moment. Let's just pause, okay?
No, we're moving
No,
on.
no,
Move
no,
it.
no,
Move,
we're
move.
gonna pause. No, 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 because you know exactly where the hell I'm going.
I know. That's why I want to move the fuck on.
Forever, you've given me shit about my iPhone. Right here. See, look. So I have a beautiful iPhone. He's giving me hell about it. He said, if you had an Android, if you had an Android, if you had an Android. Then one day he texts me and it shows up blue. Okay? So iPhone users know when it's blue, it means iPhone to iPhone because we're snobbish like that. And I'm like, what did I say? What the fuck? You got an iPhone.
No,
And he's like,
you said, who are you, and what happened to my gray beard?
I was like, and then it was probably like, what the fuck after that?
Yes, so then it was that. And so, my friend Suzanne, longtime friend, she's the one that taught me about wines. And so I did the same thing with her. And she's like, what?
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah.
what? So
Yeah.
I went with that. So I got this Whoop band, because
Okay.
I'm trying to improve my health.
I want you to show off the watch again.
Well, just a minute. I'm getting there. So I got this Whoop band that measures your breathing, your heart rate, and it gives
all that
you
good stuff.
all kinds of analytics. And so I'm
And
trying
it even
to.
tells you how you sleep if you sleep.
Yes, and you know
When you
how
snore.
hard of a time I've had sleeping.
Mhm.
So it takes the analytics and it gives you coaching. It gives you tips of what to
Yeah.
do.
iPhone's great about that.
Well, that's what. So I was
Mhm.
like, okay, it's missing some things, and so I was doing some research, and it said pair that up with the Apple Watch, and I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking maybe this is what I want to do because the iPhone itself doesn't have a great steps counter and great things, but when you combine them all together, the data
Mhm.
I'm getting with everything on this, and so
It preaches.
you know,
I
I gotta say,
put up like great. I just want you to put Bert be smoking's comment up.
yes. Now, let's make one thing clear of why it is that I was Apple, uh, Apple aversive. The
Oh, you
reason
say
why,
it's Apple adversive.
the reason why I was from a developer standpoint because I've developed across all platforms. I've
Correct.
developed.
And it's not, I'm going to admit, it's not a friendly platform. You have to have all Apple products in order for it to work. So,
Plus, you have to pay a hell of a lot of money as a developer. So if I was to continue developing on those platforms, it would run me anywhere from $500 to $1,000 to be able to
right.
develop an app that goes on the iPhone, the iPad, the watch, and the Mac OS. I mean,
Right.
it's expensive. It's not cheap.
It is. It's not. But here's my thing. When I'm at work, you see this right here? It's an app.
Yes.
So this is my work computer, okay? I'm able to sync my phone. So if I'm in a meeting or whatever, and my kids need to get a hold of me, it syncs my text messages to my iPad, where only I read it. It's not made for the public or whatever, right? And it's the same with my iPad and my iPhone and my Apple Watch. Well, I'll tell you, I had the person who came to supposedly fix my shit. I'm just gonna say that fix my piping, and it's still not fixed, Greybeard. We're going
What?
on. Yeah.
This is 2 years now?
Yeah. It's almost a year. It started last May, so we're officially at a year now. We've had master plumbers. They can't figure it out. We've had people come out. This bathroom has been redone like so many times. It's ridiculous. So, um, that's the thing is like I love is like I can have it synced and I can have it all done and it goes. So for the people who hate Apple, there's a reason. You know, you and your Android, whatever, you know, you just stick with your Android, you keep it, and you also keep your Apple phone because you have both. I called you out.
I no longer have my Android phone. I do not
I'm
have.
gonna say I'm just like loving this moment. Even it's your birthday. I just have to say I love this moment. I'm loving this moment.
Now I've owned a number of different iPads. I've paid for a number of different iPhones because I paid them for my daughter. I paid them for my ex, for my wife at the time, Robin.
Mhm.
I've owned a number of the products.
Right.
I've even had a MacBook Pro, for a number of years
What?
when I was developing for across all the platforms. And I ran my MacBook with Parallels and I had my Windows OS and everything. But
Well,
what I want for my health to improve my health
yes.
because I want to make sure that my health is improved, not just in eating, but in my exercise and my sleep. I mean, because but not everybody else knows. I may have been in bed for 8 hours a night, but I was sleeping for 3 hours,
Yeah.
and that
It's
was
like
it.
insane. Like when you see, like, and you always wonder, and like I know, like we've been cigar and wine, so we talked about that. But here's my thing: is I would wake up because too, and this was like some things was like, man, I was in bed for 8 hours. Why am I not feeling rested? When it says, well, you got 2.5 hours,
Well,
you know,
you would wake up, or I would wake up in the middle of the night,
it's
and
like, hey, bro, what's up?
you would message me like, "Why are you still awake?"
And then you're like, why are you still awake? Because you're texting this message. Happy birthday.
Yes, or vice versa. And so this was the catalyst, getting this
So
and being
has
able to
it helped?
analyze everything. What?
Has it helped?
Um, I am yes,
For
but
you to analyze like what your thing is.
oh,
Like,
absolutely
yeah.
100%. It has been a night and day difference on, being able to look at the analytics and look at the reports that it's giving me and seeing where my deep sleep, my REM sleep is, being able to see what it is that I'm doing and going, because when you're stuck in that rut and I'm going, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm going to bed at 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'm
It's
turning
not the
everything
same.
off. It's not the same. But now I'm able to see what's going on and to see at what point in time I'm slowing things down so my body can restore. It's all about your restorative on your body. And this. But when I took this, and yes, it works fine with Android, Gabe, but when I took this and
It
then
brought
I
the whole.
combined this with it, and it's a smartwatch. It's not necessarily that it's an Apple. It's a smartwatch, and it's what they can do. And I had already went to an iPhone, so it's like,
I'm so
and
proud.
it just made sense. It made sense.
And I want to say, Morgan, I don't know if you can hear me. Morgan, thank you. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why we went with iPhone. Because for those who do not know, I'm an anaphylactic. I go to anaphylactic shock when I'm around latex.
When you're on what?
Latex.
Latex, yes.
So you got balloons, you got stuff. Wear balloons every freaking wear, right? So
Wait a minute. Do you see what he's doing to me? Do you
you know,
see what he?
it's only because he likes you. He only picks on those that he likes.
It's he must really like me, and he must still be an Android user.
He's yeah. All the graphics he does with Android. And I
I'm
want to say thank you for the graphics.
yes.
But I was
My
I couldn't make one of them work. I was like really. Okay, so like when he messaged it to us, it was like really cool. The one that I posted, I think this morning or last night.
the animated one.
Yeah, and it was animated. And then I went to post it as a reel or as a story or as anything, and it wouldn't do that. So I was super sad. So I think it's because it's an Android talking to an iPhone, maybe.
Uh, I think it. No, I think it's Instagram's platform where it can't do the animated graphics as easy. I do all my graphics on PC. I mean the only thing I do on my phone, and I can do it on Android or iPhone, is I do the editing of my photos on it through Lightroom.
Well, I'm gonna say this. So I used for this for the cigar lounge because and I'm gonna bring this up. Drew Estate is doing a live freestyle live
Yeah.
where it's like it's a great deal. You get like the pack, the cigar rest, the lighter, $40, right? So I was able to create a reel, and I did it on iMovies, and I made it into a comic book, all this stuff. I've never used that app before, and Greybeard can testify. I suck at technology. I really do. I'm not the greatest at it. Like my kids get frustrated, like, Mom,
No, don't discount yourself.
So, but I was able to create a movie with the intro, like a little thing, and I made it comic book, and I put Marvel with it, and it was like one of the best.
I saw that. That was pretty. That was pretty good.
I did it on iMovies.
Yep. So I got some news today, and I got to give a shout out to our cigar traveler Zach. And you and I both know, and we've talked about it on the show, about how he is just hitting hit. I mean, we are blessed, Red, to have such an amazing team with all of our writers now. Gabe has put out a review. Joe has put out a review.
Mm-hmm.
We've got great opinion-based style articles from Ruben, coffee from David,
Yeah.
beer from Jeremiah, across the board.
It's
Well,
like where?
Zach sent me a message. He said, I got some good news. And I was like, okay, what? And he goes, I'm going to be at the Barn Smoke, the big Drew Estate event, representing Leaf and Grain Society, with an interview of Pedro at the Pennsylvania Drew Estate. So Leaf and Grain is going to be represented out there. And I think that is just, thank you, Vic. I appreciate it. Vic, the man behind the famous, infamous, whatever you want to call it, Don V cigars that we have had, and Joey G loves them. And I enjoy them as well. They're really good cigars. If you haven't had Don V cigars, check them out. They're, you know, if you're in Chicago area, hook up with Vic Shaw or hook up with Joey G. But anyways, little non-paid for shout out. Leaf and Grain is growing. We're establishing ourselves as cigar reviewers. We've got 3 reviews out, and what Red and I have talked about with all of our writers that are reviewing anything for us is that we want honest and we want transparent. If you don't like it, say you don't like it and say why you don't like it. If you like it, say you like it and why, and score it according to that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't score a cigar high or low based upon based upon who it is. You know, if you're smoking an Arturo Fuente, don't score it high if you don't
Just
like it.
because it's an Arturo.
Just because it's an Arturo Fuente. We want everything that we produce out
To be
with
truthful.
our content to be truthful and to be for the consumer, not the brand. And if the brand likes what we said, great. If the brand doesn't like what we said, we can agree to disagree on that.
I was going to say great again, but you're nicer than I am.
Great again. So, um, yeah, I mean, I appreciate the team. So yeah, we're gonna have people out there at we're gonna have a team or an individual out at um the Barn Smoker, the Drew Estate event. We're gonna be out at PCA. We're gonna
Hey,
be at different events. And if you guys want to help us out, really, if you want to help us out, we need traffic on our website and we need traffic on our YouTube. Those are the two big areas where we need help out. Between Red and I, we have 10K followers across all platforms, but we need more help on those two areas because as soon as we can show that we're getting traffic in those two areas, then we can start building up revenue and getting sponsorships in those to help offset what we're paying for. There, I'm off my soapbox.
and I love it because Gabe said that when his first review, he realized like, hey, I don't like the cigar, and and here's my thing is if you're like I'm like in low battery mode about to die, but here's my thing is and we're gonna do streams from PCA. So
Yes,
don't
we
worry about it.
absolutely are.
But here's my thing is if you don't like the cigar, it is okay, and it's good to be truthful and honest instead of saying, "Hey, smoke this cigar. It's a great cigar." Because if you know, someone who usually follows you and they smoke what you like, and if you're saying, "Ooh, this is such a good cigar," and it's really not, they're gonna lose that trust in you. And it's okay. Not every cigar is going to be for everybody. Not
And
every bottle of wine. Not every bourbon. Not every steak. Like I like mine mooing. That is not for everybody, and that's okay. I might give you shit about it, but we always say, explore the pairings, find what you like, and if you don't like it, not to go back to it, but be honest about it. Don't lie about it.
the only thing that I'm going to edit out, or Red's going to edit out, is if you say something is just shit
Rude.
and you start bad mouthing the brand.
Yeah.
Because understand, what may be my palate is not going to be yours. Even
Mm-hmm.
as similar as Reds and my palates are, there's differences. There's cigars that she likes, I don't. There's drinks that she likes, I don't, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And that we need to be honest, but we also need to be transparent as
Respectful.
to why and
Right.
respectful. Because I'm not a big fan of the porcelain. It's not a cigar for me. It's your favorite.
It's one of my favorites.
You know how much I love the Tabernacle, and for you, it's
You
like
just,
it's okay.
yeah.
It's okay. And guess what? That's fine.
But yeah.
That's perfectly okay. But what you won't hear from us is, "Oh, this is shit. Don't go do this." We're gonna
Right.
say why we don't like it and the reasons why we don't. Our first review, and I was hesitant, and I talked with the reviewer, and I talked with you about it, and I talked with Spiceman about it. It's like I'm hesitant about putting this out there, and everybody said, "No, let's be honest, let's be transparent, let's
Mm-hmm.
show." And our first review was an 82 from a very well-known cigar manufacturer who's come back into the market after having been gone. And the reviewers came back and said, it's not for me, and it could be because of the size, it could be because it needs a little bit
Yeah.
more resting, it could be because of this.
Right.
It's just not for me.
Right. And my thing is, um, Yeah, and there was a thing. It's like I loved the Tabernacle Lancero. I love Lanceros. The Vitola, and that's another thing is like you got to look at the Vitola. Change the Vitola if you don't like it. You might like it that way.
Try a different Vitola. Yeah,
Yeah. So,
it's.
and it's part about exploring. I'm like at 5%. I'm like sad because it's your birthday and all
I
my stuff
thought
is like
I
dead.
thought you had it plugged in.
I did, and it's not like charging.
Is it plugged into the cord or the wall?
Yeah, yes, it is. It's green. Green means good to go. It says it's charging, but it's only at like 9%.
It's probably we're probably taking up more
Yeah,
than what it can
but it
charge.
can. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're at a good time. We're at an hour and 45 in. I've had a great day. I told you I hope the show is good, and I think the show has been great. I think the pairing has been great. We've loved every single bit of this. I'm good if we bring it down to a close.
And I'm sad. I'm gonna have to make sure that I'm at 100%. But like I was evaluating babies today, so I've been using my iPad even though it was plugged in. It's had a lot of use, and it said, "Red, I'm exhausted. I want to go to bed."
Your iPad was talking to you?
Yeah, that's what my iPad said, and it's like
Oh,
I go to party all the time, but like,
okay.
bro,
Bert, you said I'm tipsy? No, my iPad wouldn't be talking to me. It wouldn't be calling me my first name. Megan! I gotta give a shout out to my friend Megan. So as a lot of you know,
Yay.
I play World of Warcraft now, and this is my good friend. She's in my guild. She's my raid leader. She's learning a lot about whiskeys and such, and I'm so glad to see you tune in.
Thank you,
you.
and Megan, welcome.
Yes.
And I'm sad because like we're like having to like say so long, farewell.
Farewell. I
Because
hate
my
to see you go.
My iPad said, "Heifer, I'm tired." That's what my iPad said. I tried to get it on my laptop, and yeah, it wasn't.
You know, I have got. I've got a ring light.
I know. We need to meet up, but like we're gonna have to do it like next week because you still have my ring light. Like you went like 2 months ago and got it for me.
I know. I've got your ring light and I've got your laptop sitting here for you.
And before I forget, I meant to ask you and I meant to remind you to see if you brought the our new thing.
I've had 4 drinks and 3 glasses of wine, so I might need a little bit of help.
The poker chip.
I've got the poker chip.
Poker face. Do you have it on you though, Greybeard?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
But I can't.
That's what I was saying. I meant to remind you, but yeah.
Give me just a second. I am going to run in there and get it. And thank you for reminding me.
I want to see you run. Like,
well, you're not going
to me at like 8% to watch it. So if I disappear, I'm going to be sad.
I'll be quick.
We're going to time him. Let's see how long it takes. 1,000, 1,000. Y'all count because like I can't count.
You better not be talking bad at me because I can still hear you.
Yes, I know you can still hear me. So for those who joined, thank you so much. We appreciate it in celebrating Greybeard's birthday. And we hope that you have learned something. Like red meat lovers, doesn't go with sweet desserts. It doesn't go with milky things. Like if you have a sour cream on your baked potato, not a good thing. It wasn't bad with the mac and cheese and lobster. Whoa! Like that was like, I didn't even finish what I was going to say. And you were
I know. I told you I was going to run. I mean, I really didn't have to run.
And you know what? You have those super long legs. Like
I was going to say, I am 6'5". I mean, I've got...
and I'm 5'3".
Yeah, you take 3 steps to my 1.
I think it's more than that because, like, we've walked together, and it's like I'm running, I'm jogging, and Greybeard's just like... do. And
And
I'm
that's what I'm trying to be conscious in taking short. So yes, Megan, sour cream does go with baked potatoes. It's not what she's
yes,
talking about. Sour cream with a cigar that she was smoking did not go good.
yeah, and I agree. If it's not dripping with butter, you ain't
It
eating it right. Megan,
no.
are you from the South? Is she from like the South?
She's up there in the Decatur area.
Okay, yeah, okay. So she's
No,
Texan.
do not toss a cigar and say that this is the
Oh my gosh!
Megan. You know.
These are, oh, my heart. Oh, I think I need to call 911. Someone call 911 for me. My heart.
Megan, I think I'm going to have to misdirect that extra mob towards you now. Even though you're the tank, I'm going to have to misdirect another mob. Maybe do another feigned death poll on you. Okay, so
Yeah,
here's
I
a
need a healer.
yes, yes, you'll tank it. I know you will. So here's
Oh, wait,
our
wait,
poker
wait.
chip.
I'm on a comment, so I've got to get off comment so I can see. Okay, so look
So
at that. And I forgot to answer you how many I wanted, but I wanted to see like how many you're willing to give.
well, okay, so all right, so everybody, all of our writers and all of our contributors, the team behind Leaf and Grain, I've
You
asked
didn't
you.
show the other side.
I will. Patience. I've asked for your address, and that's because each of you are getting a special package from me as
From
my
Greg.
way as from Greybeard as my way of saying thank you for all that you do because this entire team, this isn't Red and me. We have a team behind us of writers, of graphics, of promoters, of social media. We've got a team behind us, and so my way of saying thank you is you're going to get a sample for a 2-ounce pour of my choosing.
And I'm
Uh,
going to say right there, that is just like, oh, okay.
you're going to get a cigar of my choosing from my
Oh,
own personal stock, and you're also going to get one of these. And so this is the poker chip that I had made. So on the top it says Leaf and Grain Society, and on the bottom it says Explore the Pairings, and it has a logo. But when you twist it to the other side, there's the twisted pair, and so it has our twisted pair logo. And on the top it says Leaf and Grain Society, and the bottom it says Explore the Pairings. So everybody's
I
going to
thought it was
get
going to
one.
say something for everyone.
What?
I thought it was going to say there's something for everyone.
It didn't fit right
Oh, okay.
because that was
But
more.
our main catchphrase is explore the prairie.
Yes, our main catchphrase
Explore the prairie.
is explore the pairings, and there's something for everyone. That's the full tagline, but I could not get it to fit right to where it looked right. I tried,
Right, and that's fine.
but this is a nice weighted poker chip. So Chris Coulter, I mean, we can put this in there as the $50,000 chip because it's worth a hell of a lot. This is green. Megan asked if it's green or like a teal. No, it's green. It's just
It's verde.
and the pictures are posted on in Leaf and Grain Society and on my Instagram. So this is what everybody that has been contributed. Now, whatever we have left after I have, I have gifted out my way of saying thank you to people. Those that are part of the team. Whatever we have left, then I'm going to make these available for sale for $1 a piece, and that helps cover my
Cost and shipping and all
cost
that.
and shipping and everything.
Actually,
So
like down under.
yeah,
You're ahead if you get that.
so
Ooh, you could use the chips in Vegas. I like that.
yes, these are legal chips for Vegas. Um, the cigar and the
Well,
whiskey
I
is
think he's saying for us to take it to PCA.
ooh, now maybe so. Um, Here's the thing. It's not going to be any random cigar in any random whiskey. It's going to be a pairing that I put together.
It's
So
a GB pairing.
this is a GV pairing. And Red, I love you, sister, but this is not Leaf and Grain putting this out. This
It's
is
Greybeard.
this is Greybeard. This is my
Yeah.
way of saying
No,
thank you.
I'm not offended by it because
No, I
just,
knew you wouldn't be.
yeah, because I'm sorry right now I don't have time. I'm barely breathing, and like we've known that I've missed a couple of shows because of like life things, work things. So I'm gonna give him like whatever I'm not able to do that. He just carries it. So I'm gonna give him kudos for that. So I do appreciate it.
No,
because
it's not going to be a Scotch paired with a Tabernacle. Jeez, you may get Bert, you may get a peaty Scotch paired with a Tabernacle just for that.
just for that damn comment.
Here's you got me saying here's the thing now.
Here's the thing.
I've said this a couple of times. This has been my dream. This has been Red and myself and Spice Man, and then bringing in Bert and bringing in Morgan and bringing in Zach and bringing in all of the writers.
Joey, Gabe,
Get Joey, Gabe, yes. But this has been my dream from day one, and I put together this team, brought in Red, and then she and I put together this team of people to make this happen. And this is at the core of it. This has been my dream to do, because of my passion for all of it, because of my desire, my love of education, but more importantly, this is my dream for my retirement. When I walk away from corporate American IT, when people ask me what I do, I tell them I do this. I don't tell them I do IT. IT pays the bills. So this is my way of saying thank you to you all. Bert, if I could afford a bottle of Louis the 13th and an Opus X PJ, I would. Let's go somewhere in between. All right, let's go somewhere in between.
Like he went from one extreme to the other.
I'm telling
you, he
you.
needs to calm down. Bougie, calm down. Bougie, calm down.
Unfortunately, I wish I could do an LNG Robusto, Joe, but those are no more. The LNG, the Leaf and Grain Cigar Society cigar, what we call the LNG, is no more. So they are while they were as unicorn as you can get, because you could only get them at one place, they're now gone. And I've tried to get more, and we can't get any more of that. So I don't even have any more myself. It's that is a 1 year and now done. I hope that we can get to the point, to be able to do some more cigars. Yes, there was a good review on it out there. But yeah, Megan. I mean that was pretty raw. But I'm gonna be raw. I mean I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna state it like it is. I'm not gonna hide my emotions, my feelings. I'm gonna state where I am. And people like it, good. People don't, okay. As they say, I'm gonna be nice here. I'm gonna say scroll on.
I'm not gonna be nice because you don't have to do it. So if they're not appreciative, fuck you.
Honestly, I am thinking about I'm thinking about possibly an NFG 23 exclusive. I don't know what cigar I'm going to do. I don't. I know what bourbon I'm going to do. It's going to be a bourbon, and it's going to be one that you can't find anywhere.
So right there, that like that right there, and so here's my thing: if you know you ever get gifted from Greybeard and I, you know that it is going to be something unusual, hard to get, and only a select few have had it. So that's all I'm going to say. And here's my thing: is anytime anyone's given me bombed meat cigars, even if it's been something that I really don't enjoy, of like a taste of liquor or a cigar, to me, it's more important about the thought that behind it, that they took the time, because life is freaking insane. And there's a lot of times that we don't have time to do things. And the fact that you've taken time out of your busy schedule to do something says a lot. And I
So,
know that the guys are just giving you, because like,
oh, I know. I love it. I love it.
it comes out of love. But and that's going to say is like, I've been given Garcas. They're still hanging out in my humidor. But to me, it's more of like the thought that someone took the time out of their life, because I know, for example, I went into work about, I think it was like 7:38, and I would work till 10:30 yesterday. And then like today, it was kind of like I brought work home, but like after finishing a bottle of wine, I'm like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. So I'll just take my luggage with me tomorrow and get it done. And that's just how reality is. And I know that everyone that works with us understands, and they're very appreciative. But we also like to give each other shit.
Yep.
So there's that.
I love it. And
Yeah.
and Gabe, I'll tell you what. You go out and you get me, and you can show me. You get us 10 subscribers onto our YouTube channel, and you could show me that you influence those 10 people to subscribe. And I'm not saying go out and create 10 accounts and subscribe.
No. True follower.
Then I will give you enough gold in game to buy a mount.
Bots deployed.
Bots deployed, right?
Uh,
And I've got Megan on my side. She knows, Megan knows that I can come up with the gold to buy a mount. I will
I don't
get
even
you.
know what this is. Like the only thing I think about mounting is something naughty. So
No, this is World of Warcraft. This is World of
yeah.
Warcraft. This is WoW. But okay, so here's a hint. Here's a hint on
I
the
need
bourbon.
Megan and I need to become friends.
Yes,
So
you do.
so Megan, please send me a friend request on Facebook.
Me,
She's like,
me,
I'm not sure about you.
Megan has the land, has the cattle, and she's got it. Um, okay, so here's a hint on the bourbon. It is the bourbon will be Pinnacle from the Pinnacle Distillery. If you're familiar with the distillery, if you're not, get familiar with it. And it's an artisan series from 2021. No, I'm sorry, from 2022. That came out one point in time, and you had to be a subscriber to get it, and you had to choose which bottle that you wanted. And if you got in on time to get it, then you were able to get it. If not, it was gone.
Yeah,
Red,
I
you've
have a
had
feeling I've had this one before.
you've
I've
had
seen
this
it.
one.
And I think I know what you're talking about. And I was like, oh, it was O's. I think I missed myself.
It's so that's the bourbon. That's a bourbon. Mega,
Yeah, like Megan, like I can already tell, like Megan, it's like, I'll thumb wrestle you bitches for it. Yeah, like she's like me. I wouldn't thumb wrestle. I would like go straight for the throat, Megan. Just like give them a throat hug. It's okay. Everybody likes hugs. Give them a throat hug.
Yeah, just give him a throat punch. Nope, it's not Whiskey Acres, Joe. Nice try, but no, it's not
No,
Whiskey Acres.
no.
See, and Joe knows this because I mean, those of you who don't know,
Oh man, I made you because you're on Facebook, sweetie. That's why.
Joe is one
Joe,
of the
try
other
Joe.
writers.
Abre la boca. No más, no más, no más. I don't even know. Like he's Italian, but if he understands Italian, he should understand Spanish.
How's your battery percentage now?
I'm like at 5%.
Okay, so you're stay as long as we can keep you right about that range, then we're good.
Yeah, it
Because
keeps dropping. I'm like, motherfucker.
no mas is no more. Joe, do you speak
Yeah.
Italian or are you just a cooch?
He, I think he's a little bit of both.
He's the cooch.
He's a cute. So,
No, Joe wants a PBR and an exclusive Gurkha.
Yeah, I got your Gurkha. I can't even talk. It was funny. I call him my son-in-law. He just came out. You know, he was like, "Hey, mom, can I go out?" Because like I normally don't do it from the backyard. This is like the first time in a hot minute. Our first show, I was in the backyard.
You were
Yeah.
the first couple, and then you transitioned
Because it got
into.
hotter than fuck because we're in Texas. So right now is the beautiful time to enjoy this gorgeous weather. And so, like, it's so weird because normally they know not to go in the garage. So, like, my kids are like, "You're outside? That's weird, Mom. We don't get that." So, yeah, they're kind of like, I normally don't do it from the back. Backyard's a great place to do it. Great place. Like Hannah, like Greybeard, like Hannah just has passed herself over to me. Like now we're like BFFs. So yeah, you're just gonna have to buy.
You two would get along like sisters if we could only get her into cigars. That it would be done for.
So
Shut up, Bert. Yeah, Bert out there in San Diego and his beautiful 70 degrees. He's probably out there sitting on.
He's not even freaking sitting outside probably because he's colder than like whatever.
I know if it gets to 65 degrees, he's gonna come out fucking whiny because it's winter time.
No, it's like 70. He wants. We are at 77 right now where I live.
Yep, 77 here too.
It feels like 78. So as you can tell, I'm in my tank top. I will not.
I've got a nice, beautiful breeze coming across here.
Yeah, I don't. It's stagnant in my backyard, and I'm not going to tell you what I have underneath. And don't you ask. It's none of your damn business.
I can imagine. I can only imagine.
You bring up a Christian song for that?
That's the first one that came to my mind.
Seriously, bring up a Jesus song when we're sitting there talking about.
Hey,
what is y'all a cooch? So whenever I see that word cooch, it is so close to.
yes,
It's after 9. It's not even close to 9. Holy hell! Is it what time? It's 9.
It's after 9.
It's 9. Cooch reminds me of coochie.
Yep.
Coochie ya. Yeah. Oh, I am gonna bring up something.
Joe is still trying. You're not gonna get it, Joe.
Stop.
You're not gonna get it. I
You're
promise
not,
you.
bro. You're not.
You
Okay.
have
Stop.
you.
Hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself, Joe.
No,
it
of course it
go.
didn't, Megan. Of
Let
course,
it
that's not
go.
where it went. That's not where her mind went.
No, that's
no.
where mine went. That's what Megan and our Ida. So, we've had a lot of wine tonight. Now I'm at 5%, but because I killed a bottle and I'm gonna. I don't even know. Okay, so let me tell you how much wine I've had tonight. It was still up to here. So if you know, like when you have a wine, okay, Mister Sommelier, I can't ever say that word. When you have a bottle of wine, your wine does not go all the way up to the neck. It goes to right above the label. Correct.
It comes a little bit up little bit up into the
Little
neck.
bit up.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you doing with my bike, bro? Okay, my son is taking my bike. So okay, you're gonna have to tell the world what are you doing with my bike?
Drugs.
Drugs. No, you cannot say that on YouTube. I'm gonna get banned.
That's it.
No.
We're gonna get cut off now. Thank you.
Because of our show tonight. But anyway, so I've had from like here, like, do you see this?
Yep.
Whoop to here. But here's the crazy thing. I'm honestly, in reality, I'm not feeling tipsy. I'm just enjoying the show, and you know.
I am too. So okay, so I had an old fashioned. Then I had a Manhattan.
Okay.
No, Joe.
No, look at Megan.
Yes, I saw that.
I even throw some extra throat action into that cooch.
And then she follows it up with, "Oh, never mind."
Oh my god, I'm just like, okay, you need to post that back up there because I need to see that again because just like, okay, and I just want to know, is like Bunny really your name? Is it like your maiden name? Is it really, or a nickname, or what? I've just got to know that. Sure.
Yeah, I don't know that because in game she goes by a completely different name.
So like she and I are just like so Megan, if you get like some unusual weird text, it comes from a happy place and I'm a good person. I'm just saying.
Joe is still trying. Joe is still trying.
No, bro, I love that he's tenacious. Is that the correct word that I'm looking for?
Yeah, but he's almost heading towards down tenacious D.
I love it. That is very cool.
Joe is heading towards tenacious D.
We know what D stands for.
Yes, tenacious D.
That means dick.
Yes, I know what it means.
I'm just filling in for those who do not know. And I'm going to say this right now. I'm thankful that my siblings and my dad do not watch the show at this moment because I think my dad
I am thankful that my mother doesn't watch this show. My mother doesn't like cigars because
we would get like a whole Bible lesson on us.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I've got some friends that would even come back and go.
Okay, so tell us, you had rye. Wait, what did you say you had?
Okay, so I had my mouse. There we go. Okay, I had an old fashioned. Mm-hmm. Then I had a Manhattan. Oh, then I had a Boulevardier. I had a Boulevardier, and I had to go and teach the bartender how to make it.
Okay, and like that one you don't see very often, and I'm like, okay with that one. I like your first two, so keep going.
Oh, I need to make you a good Boulevardier. You will love it.
Yeah, exactly. I get that 100%. My mother is the reason why I am.
I like to follow. Then I had a martini.
Okay, was it wet or dry?
No, it was a wet, and it was a raspberry drop martini.
Ooh.
So a little bougie.
That is it's not a little bougie. That is like big ass bougie right there.
That's
like wide like my ass bougie.
It was hella good, and now I've had a half a bottle of wine.
So, half a bottle. Dude, you got to finish it up. You cannot leave that rest. And are you going into work tomorrow?
I work from home.
I know.
But yes, I'm working tomorrow.
What time? But you wake up like before I wake up. Like I wake up like at so my alarm goes off I'm one of those people. My alarm goes off at 6:30 and I'm like in and out of sleep for the next hour and a half. I get out of bed like at 7:45 and I just roll into work. Like,
He's still going.
let it
Yeah, yes,
go.
Megan, but at 4
Let it
a.m. you're
go.
out there feeding the cattle. I mean, come on. Come on. Let's be real here. You wake up at 4 a.m. because you're putting on your shit
You're
kickers
putting.
and you're heading out to get the cattle in
Well,
so that you can
and
feed
to be
them.
fair, for those who do not live in the amazing, beautiful, most glorious state that there is, I'm sorry, but not sorry. But Joe, no. So 4 a.m. If you're a farm girl, like where she lives, it's like where the moo cows, you know. So yeah,
she
Beyonce. Oh my gosh.
the names of her cows are just we
Okay,
were setting up
tell
her.
me she has one named Heifer. If you do not, Megan, please name a cow Heifer. That would
I,
just make me like the happiest person ever. I call everybody a heifer.
Well, what was funny? Okay, so we're setting up a raid, and so what a raid is in game is where a bunch of us go into this dungeon to kill these mobs, these enemies that it takes like 20 of us to kill, and you have to be really coordinated for this. And before while we're setting up for this, we're all in Discord, so we're all in voice chat, and she is going through the list of the names of all of her cattle, and we are cracking up to the
Can
point
you see
that
one
she's like,
heifer? Have you come across heifer? That's all I want to know.
most of them are just numbers. I just named the good breeders and the ones I bought up for my personal freezer. Oh,
But
okay,
he's got some
Joe.
good meat. I would love like her steak.
Oh my
With,
goodness.
oh
Oh,
yay! She can name one heifer, I suppose. Thank you. It has, yeah.
Joe,
Oh,
I have never heard of a bourbon, especially from Pinnacle, which Pinnacle has all around the
Pinnacle.
Kentucky Derby, named Cutting Board.
That right there, like just like dropped it down.
I,
Pinnacle, Kentucky Derby.
this
Nothing's gonna
has been
Google.
fun. This has been fun interacting with all of the comments so far. We may have to do a explicit outtake
Yeah, we are.
of one of these because this is hilarious.
Woodford.
Woodford, are you kidding me? Seriously, are you kidding me?
It's got the word Ford in it, so no.
Well, the fact
Ford
that he
is
would
bad.
come up with Woodford batch 18, or what are you talking about? Are you talking about?
Well, let me say the Woodford that they do for the Kentucky Derby is like freaking ridiculous in its cost. If you haven't had it,
I've got a bottle from the 2020 Kentucky Derby.
yeah,
I think it was bottle 256 and batch 18.
yeah. How much is it worth now? Because I don't think you've had any, have you?
No, it's still
still
closed.
cracked, right? Yeah,
It's still closed.
yeah. So that's
It's
like
that it's down in the hidden away part at the very back, so most people don't even know I have it. But
like
no, it's
I remember that you had it, but like I kind of like forgot.
no, it's not Blanton's. It's not batch 18, which I don't know which batch 18 that you're talking about, and it's definitely not the 18 year.
Joe, stop. Just like wait. Good things come. Bless your heart, Joe.
And Joe, you're from Chicago. I don't know if you're sure what that means here in
Yes,
Texas.
love the persistence, but bless your heart. Bless your heart. Okay, I am now at 3%, so I'm seriously about to die. Like I'm not about to die.
Okay, so let's. This has been a hell of a lot of fun. This has been so much fun. Next week, we don't have a guest on. Now, the following week, the 31st, the last day of the month, we do have a guest scheduled for the show. We just got the cigars in, so got to get them to me and so that Red and I can try them. Um, but I'm excited about having a cigar that neither of us have ever tried before. So that's always exciting. Next week,
Are we gonna do fajitas and Tito's?
we have been promising that for some time. So yes, next week, fajitas,
Fajitas.
Tito's,
Chicken fajitas, not just any fajitas.
not just chicken fajitas,
Tito's vodka.
Tito's vodka, and
Rojas.
unfinished business.
Unfinished business.
So
Yes, super excited about it. Can't wait.
we've got got some good stuff. I am working, and Red, you haven't heard this one yet.
See, like he always does this to me,
What you do it to me too.
but not
I
as
am, I have got a connection with a level 3 sommelier. A level 3 wine sommelier. About, yeah, read between the lines, Bert. Right there, right there, right there. I've got a connection with a level 3 wine sommelier, and I'm working on setting up a time to having her on the show so that we can actually talk with somebody. This is what she does for a living. This is who she is. She's all about the wine. She's done the due diligence, put forth the work in to establish herself as a level 3, and she's a Texan.
okay. She's a Texan, so I got that good graces on me, and I can learn. I can get educated. Like they are like showing my grandbaby through the window, and like I just want to flip them off, but I can't because.
No, Megan is not Michelle. So,
oh shoot!
whoa, what the hell?
Down! It's the guts.
Duck!
No,
Duck and roll?
it was something else, but yeah, that is very cool. Like anytime there's a Texan, even though you may not be as educated as them, if you are a Texan, there's that Texan thing. Megan
Yeah.
gets that.
Yep, Megan gets it.
that, and I'm like, Megan, I sure as hell hope that you are
Yeah.
a Texan.
Bert, I will do Tito's vodka. I won't do the better one from Dripping Springs. I will do Tito's. He knows what I think about Tito's. It's just not not my vodka, but I'm gonna
Hey, it
go out
was
and
a
grab a
challenge, so we're gonna do it, right?
vodka. We step up to the challenge.
Yep.
I'm not born, bred, and raised Texas, but I got here as soon as I can, and and I've been here probably longer than what she's been alive.
How long have you been in Texas?
32 years.
Okay, I'm still Texas. Like,
I know you are.
I'm, yeah.
We should all.
You should, if anyone knows, you know that I'm like so Texan. But like,
What? You're older than 32, Megan? Fix the Odin.
so okay. On that note, though, I'm ready to go be Alita and go see my little Misael.
You ready to go be Alita?
I'm ready to go be Alita to go see my beautiful. And here's my thing. This is the only time that I can say that he's beautiful because he's a newborn baby. But it's so funny. I will say this. The doctors and everybody thought he was going to be about like 8 pounds, 8 to 9 pounds. Okay. So my daughter is 5'4". She's half an inch taller than me. And she's smaller than I am, like in weight size. So you could barely tell she was pregnant. People didn't even know she was pregnant. They're like, "What? She's pregnant?" And I'm like, "Yeah, she's pregnant. She didn't look pregnant or whatever." So then my grandson comes, and he comes out like 6 pounds, and he's just so tiny, and it says I'm at 5% battery. I think I'm at 3% actually, but he's just so cute. He's so sweet. People have asked for pictures. Why haven't I posted pictures? I'm not a pravnita. That is not true. I choose to respect my daughter. She has asked me not to post pictures. So people, stop asking for pictures. I'm just going to go on a rant. And then I'm going to say something else about pictures. Because I haven't told you about this, Greybeard. So I had someone who has a website. They have a Facebook. They have an Instagram. And they want to encourage and they want to post pictures of other women smoking cigars. So here's my thing. If you do not have permission to use somebody's pictures, don't effing do it. Don't. If you're not going to give them credit and you don't know who the F they are, and in reality, you knew who I was. Here's my thing. You knew who I was. You've come into the shop. You said you followed me. You are a fan. But it's like, I don't go to Greybeard's pictures and steal a picture without giving him credit. I don't even take his pictures. I take my own pictures. But if you are going to use one of my photos, before you even post it on any of your social networks, you need to make sure that you ask. Don't post pictures without giving credit and asking permission. It's rude.
Every single picture, and even though the Leaf and Grain, I run the Leaf and Grain Society website. Every single picture of Red that's up there, every single picture of Spice Man that's up there, the pictures that of the authors as I get the writers section built, I've asked for.
Right.
And I even found pictures of Red, and I went to her first and I said, I found these couple pictures. I said, do you want me to will these work? And she came back and said, I actually would rather you use these instead. And that's exactly what I did.
Right.
And guess what, people? That's called fucking respect.
Yeah. So here's my thing is they said they wanted to promote women, but it was women in sexy things. It was not anything.
That's not promoting.
That's not. You're promoting my image. You're promoting Leaf and Grain. You're promoting me. And I've worked hard to get where I am. Don't use me to get yourself out there. So I'm done on my thing, and I'm sorry, but I just wanted to say that because that really pissed me off. And someone came across and they're like, "Hey, did you know they were using your picture?" No, I didn't. So don't take my pictures, people. I will fight you for it. Okay.
And yes, Bert, that's a guy trying to get more followers. And
yeah.
No, Bert, you do not have a picture of me in that because there does not exist. I have never owned one, nor will I ever own one. You do not want to see a 6'5" guy with skinny ass legs with a dad bod belly in one of those. Will not happen.
So yeah. So that's my thing is, I work hard for the pictures I take. I take several pictures. I edit them. I have someone else. And I'm going to say this. I'm not catfishing. I don't do a lot of editing. As you can see, what you see is mostly what you see on my Instagram and my Facebook. I don't do a ton of editing. I really don't.
Joe is still going.
I know, he's still trying. So, I don't do that. It's not the fact of that. It's the fact of I've worked hard in this industry. I've been in this industry for over 26 years. I've worked my ass off. And if you're not going to credit it or ask permission, that's bullshit. Don't use my pretty face.
But ask us for permission.
Yeah.
I've had some pictures.
You have great photos. Gosh, you have great photos, and I've seen people steal it, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I've had the one that really pissed me off is when they stole a picture of me and Morgan.
Yeah.
And I about came unglued. And believe me, people, if it comes down to it, somebody steals one of my photos and I want to find out who they are and where they are, I have that ability to do that.
Yeah. And I think the thing that hurt the most was they came into the cigar shop. They said they were a fan. I met them, talked with them, hung out with them. 3 to 4 weeks later, they're stealing one of my pictures. The one that's in the snow with the ash.
Yeah.
The half top with the leggings. And they said,
Is it the one that we met at Lakewood?
no, no,
Okay, okay.
no. And they said, I don't know who this person is. If you know who she is, that's what set me off. I'm like, motherfucker, you know who I am. You came into the shop and you said you followed me. And you're still on my
And
photos.
and I want to talk about this as a guy that's into the industry, just real quick. Yes, it's extremely hard to be taken
Yeah.
as seriously as
Yeah.
at the craft as a female, and honestly, it's not because you're female, but it's because other women in the industry who utilize their
Fuck it up.
TNA to pump it up. And there's so many, and some people that know what cigars are, and know about the cigars, and know about the whiskeys, but they use their assets to try to pump up the followers. That makes it hard for women of respect, like my dear sister Red. And I can go on for an hour of other
Mhm.
women in the industry that are respectful and that are not doing it, but it's these handful of women that are making it harder on
For women like
women
me.
like Red.
Yeah.
So
So
so yes, it is. And honestly, from a guy's standpoint, and this is my soapbox, and then I'll get off the soapbox and we'll close it because this
yeah.
pisses me off. Is that men, get your heads out of the gutter, start being respectful, because I guarantee you, you would not be talking to your sister or your mother, and would not put up with people talking to your sister or your mother that way, and understand that every single one of these amazing women out here is somebody's sister's daughter or mother. And if you can't get your head out of there on that, then get out of my fucking industry.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing is you're not promoting the industry, you're just promoting sex.
And I have zero tolerance. You want to see
And
me
I
come
don't have
unglued?
OnlyFans, people, so stop asking.
You want to see me unglued? Come unglued?
Yeah. And that's part of the reason why I didn't tell you is because I know you would have gone after them. And I had enough people having back. And then people were saying, oh, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. No, you got to understand. He walked into my shop 4 weeks ago. I asked him to take down the post. He read my message, but still waited 24 hours to do it. So you're coming out war on me. My platform, my followers are bigger, honey. I will come after you. So yeah, don't.
All right.
So there, I'm done.
We're off of our soapbox. We almost made it an entire show without jumping on a soapbox. Almost.
I had to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Now it's a show, and now we can close it knowing that we have completed all check boxes. We've checked all the boxes.
Yes, we did. And
We've
we
talked
checked the
cigars.
birthday box. Woo!
We did a new box. All right.
Yes.
So please help us promote. Go out, hit the website. We need views. We need visitors on the website. We need subscribers and views on our Instagram. No, Joe, you did. After all of that, you did not. Even though you couldn't see that I had said, because it only went to the YouTube, I said Aberlour 21 because I wanted to get in on the game. But no, you did not guess the right bourbon. You're going to have to wait till it shows up, and it will be labeled accordingly. Yes, good effort. Okay. Next week, I want to see more people stepping up to the challenge. Chicken fajitas, Tito's vodka, Rojas, unfinished business. If you don't know how to get an unfinished business, contact Red. She knows how to get it to you. We're not going to say how and where because we don't want to be cut off of YouTube. We can talk about sex all day long, but we talk about where do you buy a cigar, they'll cut us off. Go figure.
Go figure.
But until then, explore the pairings.
There's something for everyone, and have a beautiful rest of your birthday, Greybeard. Happy 56th. We love you.
I'm about to log. I'm about to log in. Megan, you up for an M plus? Nobody else knows what I'm talking about, but she does. All right, everybody have a great day. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you for everybody coming on. We love you. We'll see us next week. We'll see you next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
And I was at 2%.